Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, veterans benefits, unemployment insurance, SNAP. 13% went to defense. Now, you know what's terrifying? 13% went to interest to pay down our debt. We're paying the minimum on our credit card. And then there's 14% for indiscretionary spending. So if they were to cut all of the indiscretionary spending, which would mean Trump's not doing that. Because at the end of the day, this isn't about Elon or Trump. The power of the purse lies with Congress. Do you think Congress wants to cut their nose off to spite their face? I do not think so. They love to spend. The one thing that they can agree on in public is spending our money is a good thing. So when you go and look at this stuff, and somebody asked me yesterday, well, where's all your information about, because I said, look, realistically, they're about $7.2 billion to about $9 billion of cuts so far. Because so much of that money they're talking about cutting, first of all, they got the numbers wrong. And secondly, those numbers, that money's already been allocated, so it's gone. So when you go and look at all this stuff, and I've said, God bless Elon, but government was set up to protect government. At some point in time, an organization is about the organization. So whether it be, like the NFL, it's not about the teams and the fans, it's about the NFL. It's about the owners and protecting the brand. Right? The church became that way. The Catholic Church became about protecting the brand. The Boy Scouts. It's not about the Scouts, it's about protecting the brand. And government is the biggest lobbyist of government. They're protecting what's theirs. And that includes many, many, many people inside of the Republican Party as much as it does the Democrat Party. So a lady went on News Nation, and she is very secretive, as you would imagine. And everybody talks about, there's big balls and all these young kids are running around the DOGE, this, that, and the other. She's not DOGE, but she's something when it comes to this. And she's quiet about it. But she is brilliant. And she's also frustrated at what she sees.
She's gained quite a bit of popularity on social media, even with Elon Musk. The data scientist is very secretive about her real name being out there and her security, but she agreed to meet me at an undisclosed location. She is deaf, and we communicated through an interpreter. Big picture, with all the databases you're looking at and taxpayer money, how much do you think is being wasted or stolen?
If I had to guess, I would say it's over 100 billion. But what's more important is what they're doing with that money.
The mythical X account Data Republican, shared over and over again by Elon Musk himself, is a real person, a former programmer, now full-time calling out government waste, like exposing USAID.
Which is great. Exposing the insanity, that's fine. And we need some of that. And somebody just asked on the text, and feel free to text us. Bell, tell everybody what the text line is.
615-737-9986 or WWTN.
That's right. Or you can go to the YouTube and you can go on there and say, hey, Chad, what about this? And somebody just said, so what do you suggest, Chad? Just don't try it? No, it's not about not trying, but it's about being honest with the people. And that includes where we're going to have to make some serious decisions. And we'll get to that in a second. But her exposing this just exposes what I've said forever and a day. These are not two parties that are grassroots, we're for the little man parties. These are two mighty corporations that want to spend all of our money. It's interesting how he found her.
How did you get the attention of Elon Musk?
Okay,
Honestly, I don't know. You'll have to ask him, but I'm grateful. One day, I tweeted what everybody should. I just tweeted what I found, and then he tweeted everyone should follow the data Republican. My jaw dropped to the floor, and I thought, what, is this real life? But I guess tech people find tech people. I want to be clear. I don't communicate directly with Elon. He found me and supports my work. But I have communicated with some people that are involved with DOGE just on the side. And I don't want to say much more about that, but I have a working relationship.
Yeah, she's got a working relationship. She knows who they are. She's been out. She's seen them. And remember, her name is, or at least what she goes by is, and you can go see everything, it's Data Republican on the Twitter. And that's got to be crazy, right? Because you're probably tweeting out to, I don't know, maybe 5,000, 10,000 people, if you're lucky. I mean, that's decent size in the world that we live in, if you really think about it. And all of a sudden, you go from that to 500,000 kind of overnight because Elon says follow. And it's very nerdy, don't get me wrong.
She goes by Data and uses AI tools to search public databases for waste and fraud. She's been to D.C. to meet with Elon Musk's DOGE team and publishes all her findings on X and her website. Charity funding, federal grants, non-governmental organizations funded by taxpayers. It's all there. What do you say to people who think that this data, these databases, these numbers have been out there for a long time, that they've been public for a long time, and that it's sort of like a publicity stunt that they're getting all this attention now?
That's just an ignorant assumption. Data does not equal transparency. I am a database expert, a database scientist. I am a kernel engineer, and the numbers do not lie. What I did was I added the index to the book so that people can actually find the awards, what they're looking for. And you have to understand, without AI, this would not be possible because the book is so large, nobody can sit down and read the entire thing.
So with her programming all of this stuff, AI is able to work 24/7, 365 in a way that is just ridiculous. That's why the change in the medical world is going to be tremendous. But when you listen to her talk about this, again, she's talking about $100 billion. Well, when you're talking $7 trillion, but it's not about the $7 trillion or even the savings. It's about the exposure that is coming. And that is most important. Because the exposure matters, I think, at this point in time, more than anything else.
Her next project could be even bigger, investigating and exposing what she believes are corrupt politicians and judges. She posted this weekend, still working on the People Connection mega project. This will be my first truly financially high-cost initiative, so I need to get it just right.
So my project right now is to work on analyzing connections and relationships between people in the government. Because if you research people long enough, you start to notice that they're all working together. They're all married. They're all in-laws. They know each other. They all sit on the same board for many years. And that's my project, to map those relationships and put it on my website.
Which is awesome. She knows. She's looking up and she's saying, okay, wait a minute here. So we'll just use Belle and Ken and I. So wait a minute. I know Ken. Ken's my friend. Ken's married to my wife or my sister. I give Ken a job over here at this company. I get them a huge contract of which that money goes into there. And then I get fundraising money. And that's the way it all works. It goes around and around and around.
She says Democrats and Republicans are both to blame.
I cannot tell you enough how much both are involved. It is everywhere. Now we even have members of Congress. So we have sitting members of Congress that actually sit on the NGOs right now. They vote in Congress for money for themselves. And they sit on the same NGOs that they're voting to get money. It is a huge conflict of interest, and it's buried very deep. The numbers don't lie. This is not a partisan issue, and if the American people understood completely what we're finding, there would be outrage across the board.
As there should be. Because they're robbing each one of us. They're robbing, most importantly, our kids' future, our grandkids' future. They're putting us at risk long term. because they love the game, and the game is money. Money courts power. Power courts money. And that's government in a nutshell. They're looking for their next, and they go and find it. And the people that have money, they need more power. They need more regulations. They need more things to help them along the way. And anything they can do, they'll do. There was a movie that came out in 1992. I don't know if you guys remember. It was called Distinguished Gentleman. It was Eddie Murphy's not finest moment. But it was about a guy who runs for Congress because he's got the same name as the guy in Florida where he lives. He's a con man. They've got the same name. And what ends up happening is that guy dies, but he just runs on that guy's name and he wins. But I love the end of this little snippet here.
Thomas Jefferson Johnson is no ordinary con man.
Take the damn money. Take the watch, please.
You know this goes against my every principle.
There is only one place for people like him.
I want to tell y'all about a town where the streets are paved with gold.
You mean Las Vegas?
No, not Las Vegas.
He's talking about Washington, D.C.
I am running for Congress.
And it's all about, and it's a comedy, but it's all about the games. It's all about the fundraising. It's all about big tobacco and guns and you know, this group and that group. That's what it's all about. And it's all about getting rich. It's enriching themselves. You know, we always think that these people enrich themselves because they've got insider trading that shouldn't happen, but we know it happens because they tell their husbands or wives. This is totally different. This is much bigger, and it's gone on forever and a day. And some people don't want to hear that. They don't. And when it comes to figuring out what we're going to do when it comes to our debt, we're going to have to talk about where we find the money or where we cut from. And this is the way it works. Nobody wants to have an honest conversation that we're going to have to make some austere measures, if you will, in the future. And nobody wants to talk about the fact that we're going to have to figure out how to pay for this, which includes a future generation, not this one, that will, and I'm talking, you know, people in their 30s and stuff that will probably have to retire much older.